Jai Gurudev to all. Today I am going to start first unit from part A, communication skill 2. So let's see first what is communication. Communication is the act of conveying meaning from one entity or group to another through the use of mutually understand signs, symbols and semantic rule. It means it is an act of conveying or delivering information from one person to another person or in a group. So communication, it is not only from the one side but it is understandable by the both the side. See, whatever sign, symbol or words you are using in your communication, that should be understand by both the side. First topic from this unit is demonstrate knowledge of various method of communication. Here again sub four topic: method of communication, verbal, non-verbal and visual. Let's see what methods of communication. Here one individual can use verbal or either non-verbal communication. Again verbal have two child notes like spoken and written, and non-verbal communication again two child notes: body language and emotion and vibration. Let's briefly we see what is the verbal. Verbal communication is the use of word to share information with other people. It can therefore include both spoken or written communication. It means in your communication, if you are using speech, word, or you are delivering your information by a written way, so that is your verbal communication. Next is non-verbal communication. In non-verbal communication, we are conveying our information through the signals, means without telling orally or written way. Instead of that, we are using eye contact, or facial expression, gesture, posture, through hand movement. Such things we are using in non-verbal communication. Last is visual communication. In visual communication, we can convey our information or ideas through the picture, through the sign, through the design, through the advertisement. If you want to convey your information by using such things, so that is your visual communication. So these all are methods of communication. Next topic is communication cycle. In communication cycle, there are 6 stages of communication cycle. First is source, encoding, channel, decoding and receiver. And last is feedback. See in this diagram downside, the arrow is showing from receiver to source, that is the feedback. If we going through this all these stages of communication, so we can say after that our communication is successful. Let's see first sender. Sender, it means the person who originate, who first create that communication, that is a sender. Second is message. Message, it means information or ideas which using in your communication. Third is encoding. Encoding, it means the person or the sender who how he explain his communication, how he use material or things for understanding the others, that is a encoding. Fourth is channel. Channel, it means it is a medium through which sending your message or information. Then next is receiver. Receiver, it means who is receive that all message or to whom you are sending the message, that is a receiver. Second last is decoding. See the term, sender encode the message and receiver decode the message. So in decoding means how the receiver interprets means how he take that message in his conception, or how he understand that message which comes from sender, so that is a decoding. And last is feedback. Feedback, it means the receiver response on the message. Response can come in any way, like in argument, in question or in answer, but response is very important for every communication. Next topic is importance of feedback. Now, as I told, feedback is very important in every communication because it gives a successful communication. It gives a complete the whole process of communication, and it make continuous also, and it gives effectiveness of communication. Again, it help in further proceeding also. So that is the importance of feedback. There are different types of feedback. Let's see first descriptive feedback. Descriptive feedback is a specific information in the form of written comments or verbal conversation. Means you can give your feedback in written comment also or in verbal communication also. Descriptive feedback, it means you have to give your feedback in specific form, means in detailed form. Detail, it means suppose I given feedback on your question, like your answer is incorrect. So this is not a descriptive feedback. Again I have to add 2-3 line there, like this is not a correct, you have to improve it, what is actually required in that answer, so that all thing. So that is descriptive feedback. And descriptive feedback is the most powerful tool for improving student learning. Next is specific feedback. Specific feedback is similar to descriptive feedback, but difference is only have to give your feedback in specific way. What is actually required in feedback, that only have to give, that is a specific feedback. Now what is non-specific feedback? For example, here one example given, like to your student or your employee, you are telling that good job or you did great. So that is a general feedback, or we can say non-specific feedback. So we are not telling in specific way or in detailed way, so that is a non-specific feedback. Next heading is barriers in communication. Now, what is meant by the barriers in communication? It means something that causes problem in your communication, that is barriers in communication. Sometimes you are saying one thing but people perceive it in another way, so this type of also barrier can come in your communication. So there are several factors or barrier, or we can say problem, can come in your communication and distract your communication. So let's see what are that. Types of barrier. See here there are so many types of barrier. First is linguistic barrier. It means a language barrier. Now language barrier also can distract your communication. For example, suppose in a communication two persons are there. One is Spanish man who only speak and understand Spanish, and one is Indian woman who is only familiar with the Hindi. So it would not be able to interact because of language problem. So this way also distract your communication. Second is psychological barrier. See everyone physical and mental health is different, so everyone's mental thinking also different. We can't say whatever we are thinking as per that other also can think. So this way problem also come in your communication. Third is emotional barrier. Emotional barrier, we all can very well known about this emotional barrier because it relates with the feelings. Sometimes we are feeling upset, sometimes we are feeling angry. So this type of feelings stops our communication. So that is a emotional barrier. Fourth is physical barrier. Physical barrier, it means natural condition. Physical barrier like a door, wall, distance, etc. See now we are also facing this physical problem, physical barrier, like you are sitting there, I'm teaching from here. This distance problem is also physical barrier. So this type of also barrier occurring in communication. Fifth is cultural barrier. Barrier is coming from cultural differences. See like country, we can take country wise or area wise or city wise, everywhere culture is different. Whatever they are doing in their culture, it is just okay, but same thing if in other culture it is inappropriate or it is not accepted at all. So this type of also barrier occurring in if for effective communication. Sixth is organizational structure barrier. See, organization structure barrier means like gender differences, like she is a female, he is a male, and workplace gossip and lack of knowledge toward the situation. So this type of situation or this type of things can be a barrier to effective communication. Seventh, next is attitude barrier. Attitude barrier, it means behavior, like everyone's or individual opinions or personal feeling on particular topic or particular subject, it difference. So this type of attitude also can be a barrier to effective communication. Last is perception barrier. Perception barrier, it means having a preconception about any topic or about anything. Like we are thinking that all teachers are very strict, so because of that we are not communicating with them. So because of that this preconception, because of having this preconception, we are not communicating with teachers. So this is also one of the barrier. Next topic is 7 C's of effective communication. See, because sender must follow some rules for creating a communication or for creating a message. So we are using here 7 rules, that is known as the 7 C's of communication. So let's see what are that. First is clear, then concise, then concrete, fourth correct, then fifth is coherent, complete, and courteous. These are the 7 C's of communication. So see, first rule is clear. Now what is meant by clear? In clear communication, it means whenever we are in communication, always we are exchanging our thought, information, and ideas. So that should be very clear when you are trying to express yourself, or when you are trying to express your information in a communication between two parties. So it should be very clear. Second is concise. Conciseness means giving a lot of information or detailed information in a few words. So this concise communication provide a short and essential message in limited word, in a few words to the audience. That means only a concise. So don't waste your valuable time. It is very important in a communication. Third is concrete. See, concreteness is an aspect of communication. In a communication, we have to use specific fact, definite things, or figures, which improve our effective communication, or which increase our effective communication, rather than using the vague or general or fuzzy things, which is not valuable in a communication. So that is only concreteness. Fourth rule is correct. See, incorrect, do not give any information false in any sense, because communication is based on the decision making, and if we given any wrong information, so it may lead to the wrong decision. So it's affect our effective communication. So that is only correct. Fifth rule is coherence. See, coherence refer to the smooth flow of ideas in a text. There are two strategy of that. First is organize that idea in a logical order, but it should be in a text, and connecting them effectively by using a transition word or phrases. Like in my video, you can see everything is going smoothly, and you can also gain it smoothly. So that is only the coherence. Sixth rule is complete. The completeness, it means the communication must be complete, means you should convey all the details, all the fact, all the information in a complete way, which is required by the audience. So that is only the completeness. Seventh last is courteous. See, courteous is the respect that we show to other, or in a group, or in a communication, because communication also it mean the same thing. We should show respect to your reader who is listening to you. When we are sending the message, be polite, be sincere, be enthusiastic, and be reflective. So that is only the courteous. These are the 7 C's of effective communication. By using that, we can make our communication more effective. See, almost I covered each topic from this unit. Again, I will come with the next video with next unit. Jai Gurudev, Jai Maharshi.